Hello. So I wanted to share a survival shelter that a student of mine created yesterday in an intermediate course. The intermediate course goes and covers more natural means. The first introductory course, or the wilderness survival course, teaches how to make a shelter with a tarp. The intermediate progresses into off the land with natural tinders, natural shelters, and so on. So we built this structure on a downed tree. We tied it, lashed it to this one tree here, but the bottom is wedged between two birch trees behind me. Now, we started at waist height and it's 6 foot deep. Now that gives a great angle and also great cover from the front because you get less blowing rain and so on. The higher you pitch the front, the more blowing rain can go in on you. Waist height is a great height with a 6 foot shelter because then it keeps you dry because you're back 2 feet from the front. This here is just your lean-to. Now if you want to block more wind and blowing rain, you can build sides on this just as easy. This is 8 foot wide as well. So you can see it also goes downhill. So in here I have plenty of room to get in here and get back my 2 feet that I need to be. Now this does not have a raised bed yet, so I want to put a bunch of leaves or brush in here to get myself up off the ground and have at least 6 inches for insulation underneath of me. I'll still have lots of room up top even with that raised bed. So my student was taught the bush rake and how to construct it. He used that to get a lot of these leaves and such. I had some left over from another project, and we built this so it would shed a light rain. You cannot see light through it, but we've got about, in this area, about 4 inches compressed. I want at least a good foot compressed. But we was able to cover this whole thing with what we had, and this gave him a great idea. All you'd have to do is keep raking and keep piling, and this gave him the skills to make a shelter that can keep him dry, which is very important. This is one of your key features when building a shelter like this, which I mentioned to him, and we covered it some, but all these ends across here, now this would need to be covered. If you notice, I put some branches lengthwise like this. That allows me to build right up over these ends. If you have any that are sticking out, water can hit and it will run in underneath your material and drip on you. You have to cover the ends. Now there's a couple ways to do that, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So there was a dead birch tree over there. I cut down it and took this piece of birch bark off. This is waterproof. I can take this and put right over top of the ends like this, and then fill this all in and cover that with your leaves. That is going to cover the ends. You want to make sure that you cover those ends. I'm going to show you where I did a partial demonstration of a shelter and show you what it looks like after it's been raining for a while. So this here is just about 2 feet long. I built this a while back. I've got a good foot of compressed. Now it's down to about probably 8 inches. After it compressed and such, it was about probably 14 when I first started. But you can see it is totally perfectly dry under here. Perfectly dry. This works well. I'm going to show you what I did up top. Now you can see I only brought it out to here. I didn't put any more on this side. And I've got those ends covered so it does not run down in underneath. So that's just one important tip. Whenever you're making these, you have to cover those ends completely. So I wanted to share this with you. It was a great start on a shelter. I would add more, but it's very well constructed and it can shed light rainfall. Just add more and you're set to go. You can add walls, etc., and that's going to just improve your shelter. Now hopefully you got a couple tips out of this, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching. If you want to try this for yourself, sign up for a course. I'll leave the link down below. Take care. All the best.